Good morning. Exciting day, right? Obviously, I'm not Dan Hoffman. Dan, unfortunately, had the flu, and he was debating on whether or not to come in, and I told him it would be a good idea not to come in. So all of you can thank me later for not getting the flu. I'm John Piper. I'm the Deputy City Manager here in Winchester, filling in for Dan today, and it's my honor to kind of give some opening remarks. I want to acknowledge our mayor, a couple members of council that we have here as well, our Commonwealth Attorney, of course the members of the WPD, other VIPs and chiefs and department heads, but most importantly the Lewis family, his wife, mother, children. So welcome to Winchester. We're very excited to have you guys here. So in a few minutes, I'm going to invite the clerk of the court, Mr. Gardner, to come up and administer the oath of office, and then our new chief will give some remarks. But I just wanted to say a couple things. This is a very exciting day for our community, not just for the department, for the community. I think anytime you bring on a new chief, especially in a department that has this much history, it really is a notable time, right? So we're coming up on the 203rd, I think I have that right, anniversary of the Winchester Police Department. So it makes it one of the oldest police departments in the country. And I would be remiss not to acknowledge the fact that as we kick off and celebrate Black History Month, we are welcoming our first Black police chief here in Winchester. So that is a truly remarkable thing for our community, and I know that many in our community, including myself, are very excited about this. Let me talk a little bit about the process and how we got here today, because I think it's important. Ronnie certainly knows everything that he went through to get here today, but I want to let everybody know that this was a process that was very thorough, obviously, to get to this point today. We did listening sessions. We listened to, most importantly, the members of the WPD, our community, our counselors, and other stakeholders. We had panelists come in from the outside. We had community forums, and we listened. And what did we hear? We heard that we needed somebody that was professional, transparent, that was going to lead the WPD into its next chapter, that was going to continue the good work that had been done and bring the WPD to the next level. And we found that in Chief Lewis, and very excited to have you here. I think the qualities that we're looking for when you select a new police chief are so important, right? So those of us who have spent any time in the law enforcement profession, I think you don't think about, like, I want to become police chief one day. It's not something you generally start, maybe a couple of you in the back, I don't know. But generally, you don't think that when you first start off in policing. But as you advance through, the ranks, you start thinking about that as a possibility. And I've often said that being a police chief is something that many aspire, but few attain. So it really underscores the accomplishment and why you're here today. So congratulations. And you've one-upped me because you've done this twice now. So bet first loss is our game. And we're excited to have you and your family here in the community. And we know that you're going to bring accountability, transparency, all the buzzwords, all the things that we say are important, but they actually mean something, right? And I know from the minute that I met you, and I can speak for the senior executive team and the other department heads that are involved in your hiring process, that it was an easy decision once we had an opportunity to meet you. So welcome to you and your family. Congratulations on this incredible accomplishment. And with that, I'm going to kick it off to Mr. Gardner to administer the oath of office.
Please raise your right hand. Do you, Ronnie Edward Lewis Jr., do solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all duties incumbent upon you as Chief of Police for the City of Winchester, Virginia, according to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is an exciting day for my family and for me. And I want to say thank you, and I know he's not here, to Mr. Hoffman, the city manager, who had faith in me to give me this honor of being the next chief for the city of Winchester. I want to thank the Deputy City Manager, Mr. Piper, and city staff for the course of the last week for just welcoming me, getting me comfortable with my new team that I'm going to be here with in Winchester. I want to send a special thanks to Deputy Chief Josh Berry. He was the interim chief during this period, and if we can all just give him a round of applause for a heck of a job that's done. Thank you. Thank you to Mayor and Council for being here. I've had the pleasure of meeting a number of you, I believe everyone, but I'm excited about being here, working with the staff, working with the community, and trying to move forward, not only in the department, but in the city. I want to give a real heartfelt thanks to my family, because without them, I would not be here. My wife, I've been doing this leadership thing for a while, and my wife has always been there for me. She's a police officer, and she sacrificed her own career to make sure that our family was provided while I moved forward with my career. And I really love you, and I appreciate everything that you've done. Without you, I would not be here. My son, Edward and Malik, I'm proud of both of you, and just a real quick proud dad moment. My son Malik just graduated the Prince William County Fire Academy on December, and so he's he is a servant leader, something we'll touch on briefly. My mother, she was the first example of a leader that I had growing up, and she taught me how to speak to people. She taught me just everything I needed to know to be successful, so I thank you for being there for me. To my chiefs and retired chiefs and friends that are here, thank you so much for being there for me, for helping me through the tough times, and for shaking hands during the good times. Thank you all for being here and taking your time. I am so grateful and I'm so honored to be the next police chief for the city of Winchester, a department that's over 200 years old. And like Mr. Piper said, is one of the oldest departments in the country. I don't take that lightly. Also don't take lightly the men and women, the great men and women that came before me, and the two officers that gave the ultimate sacrifice. This is something that as a chief that I will make sure that we as a department keep moving forward in honoring those officers and honoring the people that have come before us. Now, I'm going to briefly talk about our vision as a department moving forward, but I'm going to quickly touch on the type of people that we're going to be looking for. And everyone in this department are those people. We're going to be looking for servant leaders. We're going to be looking for people who put others first. Let me tell you a quick story, and this may have put it in perspective about what we're looking for. It's about soldiers that are in a trench. So, a man on horseback is riding his horse. He comes upon a number of soldiers that are in a trench, digging a trench for an impending battle. So, while they're digging this trench, working, there's a commander on top of the trench yelling at them, telling them what to do and how to do it. So the man on horseback looks at the commander and says, "Why aren't you in that trench helping these men?" And he says, "Well, I'm a leader. I'm here to tell them what to do." So the man on horseback gets off the horse, picks up a shovel, gets in the trench, and helps them dig until that trench is complete. He then gets out of that trench, looks at the commander, and says, "The next time that your rank prevents you from getting in that trench and helping your people, you're going to come to top command and we're going to fix that." And that man on horse was no other than George Washington, General George Washington, who is a famous son here in Winchester. And what that symbolizes is what we're looking for and what we all have, whether you're sworn, non-sworn, volunteer. All of us are servant leaders. All of us are given the opportunity to move us forward. And the vision to move forward to is developing an environment where everyone is empowered to do the job. And what I mean by that is that we can't be afraid to fail. I don't think there's any perfect people in this room. I'm definitely not one of them. But we all have to fail in order to learn. And we're going to be able to empower each other to make sure that we can move ourselves forward in order to reach our goals. We're also looking for professional development, making sure that the next police chief, the next deputy chief, the next sergeant The next dispatcher supervisor is going to come from here in the city of Winchester to make sure that people are coming to us to get our people to lead somewhere else. We're going to be looking for community engagement with the foundation of Sir Robert Peel and his 9 Palian principles. And my favorite one that he put in, and this is the foundation of what we're doing, is the public are the police are the public, and the public are the police. We who wear this badge are just the ones that have been charged with doing this full time. But we do this in partnership with the public. And finally, wellness. We have to make sure that we're taking care of each other, taking care of each other's physical, mental, spiritual, and financial health. And as a servant leader in this department, we will work together in making sure that each person has that opportunity to do those things. Now, everyone says, well, how in the world are you going to do all this, or how are we going to get there? Well, we're going to start with 2 things. We're going to start with communication and teamwork. Communication, clear and concise communication from everyone. If we do that, then people are empowered. One of my favorite statements is, clarity is power. Through clarity, transparency, we will be able to empower each other when we're moving forward. The next one is teamwork. I sent an email out this morning that sort of summarizes everything that I'm saying right now. But teamwork, ideal team players. We're looking for 3 things out of our people: humble, hungry, and smart. And what I mean by that is being humble. When a team accomplishes something, that you're not the first one to raise your hand and say, look what I did. You're the one that raises your hand and says, look what we did, look where we're going, and we're going to do more. Someone who's not afraid to pick someone up and dust them off and move forward. Hungry. We're looking for people who are able to wake up every morning trying to get better, trying to make sure that when they get out of bed, they're going to give us 100%. I don't like doing 110% because that's impossible, but 100%. That you're going to take your learning, you're going to learn your craft, and you're going to read books on your own. We don't have to tell you that. That's the type of person we're looking for. And then smart. We're not looking for someone who can pass an IQ test. We're talking about emotional intelligence. When we're driving, and I say when we're driving in our police cars and we see a group of kids throwing ball together, the emotional intelligence should tell you, if you have nothing else going on, to get out of that car and add value to those people. I'm looking for people that when we go into a meeting and the meeting is contentious and that team is stagnant, that person can go in there, speak to the group, and get that team moving again. So that is what we're looking for. People who are humble, hungry, and smart servant leaders. And I know that we have that in this department, and I am excited to be here. So in closing, I promise to you that I'm going to be present. I'm going to make sure that if you guys are digging that trench, sweating and bleeding, I'm not going to be on my high horse sitting there pointing at you. I'm going to get down there and help you out, because we're all a team here. And I am so excited to be a part of this team that it's finally over, and I'm here. So thank you all, and I will be talking to you soon. Thank you.